I need new retinas, this light is way too bright.
Do you have a monkey in your pants?
Right then folks, MonkeySpaz5000 back with another video, and just like it's always fashionable to be late to a party, it's always fashionable to do videos on a product that's been out and there's already a million YouTube videos on it, but this is my take on the Snes Classic Mini. Snes Mini Classic, Super Nintendo, Super NES, whatever it is. I got it launch day. I got it with a couple of controllers as well, additional controllers. I just picked up the second one today and I've not opened it or anything since I've got it. So I will have a look at it and let me share my thoughts with you and the included games, if that makes sense. So like I said, I'm probably going in and out of focus here, trying not to knock the keyboard or else that'll switch on. I've got a couple of controllers which I'll show you in a second, and yeah, this is the box that I got. My name's on it somewhere. I got it launch day from Amazon. I was really lucky, waving a knife about. I was really lucky. One of my friends posted in a group, I think, a link when they were announced. Excuse me, and I managed to pre-order one from Amazon, and I got it. I think I tried to pre-order from somewhere else, but it got cancelled just to see if I would get one or not. But Amazon were true to their word. I've never had any issues with Amazon actually. But I got it. Happy days. See Americans with big knives? Us British people, if you had a big knife, you're probably a maniac. I've not even opened this properly and I'm putting my knife away. I'm getting all excited with the sharp implement. So yeah, I was lucky. I can't remember who posted it, or else I'd say thanks. This is where you don't want to cut the box, isn't it? But just like the NES Classic, which I've got up on the shelf there, this has since been hacked or modified with a Hachi, I think, mod. So you can load lots of ROMs onto it for various systems if you wanted. But put the box out of the way. You can't fit the whole library on it because this is the limited space. This is it the same size as this NES Mini? I don't know, about the same size box. But that's it there. It focuses when it's in my face. Look, it doesn't focus there. It's, for some reason the box is a lot smaller than what I expected, even though, I don't know, maybe just because the box. So yeah, opening it. It's not an unboxing, it's just my thoughts. And I'll quickly have a chat about the included bogies, the included games that are in it. Open. 20+1 games. Don't know why they just didn't say 21 games, including Star Fox 2 or Starwing 2, whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know why. So there you go, open. Don't know what I was going to say there actually. I was going to say I don't know why, but then I opened it. Hold on. My big baldy head in the way. Right, so it's not really an unboxing, but it's somehow turning into one, isn't it? It's supposed to just be my thoughts. So a little Nintendo, is that Club Nintendo stuff or whatever? I never done that. Little operations manual is what it is. It looks very similar to sort of original sort of manuals you would have got. Pop that down there. That's the innards. It's tiny actually. It looks tiny. And I know the Americans, they seem to get AC adapters with theirs. We didn't. Obviously, the reason being is European model was just released across Europe, and we've got different plugs in different countries. Idiotic. But you get the USB cable, HDMI cable, and a couple of controllers. Is what you get as well. So I'll put that there, and I'll put that there. So it's absolutely tiny. Obviously I know what size. Oh, it's tiny. It's like, you see like cute little baby shoes in shoe shops and you're like, oh, they're cute and tiny. It's tiny. They should have, I know, they should have just done it, right? It would have been more hassle. They should have had this as a flappy, so it pushed in like the original, and that should have pushed in. That would have made it ideal. It's absolutely tiny. Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Classic Mini. You have to be 12 apparently. HDMI, USB on the back. And just for sheer comparison, let's have a look. Size difference. Is that in focus? Maybe. There you go. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So good looking though. So much better looking than the North American version. Sorry, North Americans, but it really is. But I wish half the fun is this big eject button, and I wish they made this big eject button work. But for some reason, it's so much smaller than I thought it would be. I don't know why. Oh, and when I remember me and my friends, when we saw these being advertised in magazines, we thought that they would use original controllers or sort of connectors, but obviously they don't. It's this weird little tongue thing. It's got Wii U style, or Wii style I should say, controllers to go in there. It's a little bit cumbersome looking. How long will that last? The little flappy bit, I do not know. But yeah, it's a little bit not ideal. But that's amazing. Now the Super Nintendo is one of my all-time favourite classic systems. Snes, PS1, Spectrum. That may be it. That's definitely my favourite. But that's cool. It's so tiny, man. Genuinely. So tiny. It's mental. It's mental. But you get two controllers with it, as you probably know. I'll have a look at one of these. It's very nice looking. It's plastic feels a little bit different, but that's maybe just because the originals were worn out over the years. The ones that we're used to now were just simply maybe they felt like this originally, but it's, come on, that's amazing. It just feels like a SNES pad, genuinely does. I've seen some people complaining that these didn't have L&R printed on them like the original ones, but I've got a couple of SNES pads and they don't have L&R on the top, so they're the same as this. I don't know. Oh, that's nice. Is this what like a brand new Super Nintendo controller feels like? Honestly, it's very nice. It is. It's a Super Nintendo pad. It's exactly what it is. So the cables, I'm not going to unravel it. The cables on the NES Mini, as you may know or may not know, were very short. You basically had to sit on it to play it. That's how short they were. These ones are a little bit longer, but what I plan on doing with this is, sorry, I've got some nasal issues this evening. What I plan on doing with this is sticking it in the living room, because if I want to play games in here, I'll play it on the PC, to be honest with you, emulation. I'll pop this in the living room and I'll play on there, but my living room's quite far away from where I sit. The TV is quite far away from where I sit on the sofa, I should say. So I thought, right, these controllers aren't going to be long enough, as nice as they are, unless I get an extension. But then I've got a dog, and no Malloc, the dog would run in front, and cable and mess and stuff would go everywhere, basically. So along with this, I picked up two of these. One of them, I got the second one today because I got one on launch day, and I got one today because they seem to be quite hard to find. And they are the Hori Fighting Commander wireless pads. Now, I'm hearing some stories of these, maybe issues, maybe don't have issues with them. I'll see how they go. But they're obviously, they are a copy, if you like, or a modern version of the original Hori Fighting Commander for the SNES. The good thing about it is you've got your L&R here, so it's good for Street Fighter and the likes. Which leads me on, under wireless, which leads me on to the fact that waving my knife about, Mr. Stabby over here, leads me on to the fact that I've heard stories. I'm going to lose a digit here. Sorry, work, I can't come in. I've got minus a digit. I've got an irritable nose as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't let me near sharp stuff. What was I saying? Hearing stories that maybe the D-pad's not that good for Street Fighter. Some people say it is, some people say it's not. I don't know. Oh, how'd you get it out without destroying the box? Not easily. Jesus Christ, that nearly just ripped away. Done the creasing thing that you do on SNES games, but never mind. Jesus. Alright, okay, I get it. Hold on. I've not opened one of these before. This is some wonky ass packaging. What is sticking this in place? I get it. Do I? Yes, I do. Oh my God, that was a farce. it was getting caught on this back bit up here. So it's a wireless pad, so you get a little wireless receiver which should work in the Snes Mini as well. Just a little dongle is what it is. Now it's quite bulky because you fit batteries in it. Let me see what type of batteries is it. I reckon 2 AA's. 2 AA's is what it is. It feels fine. I don't know how it'll play Street Fighter, etc. L and R buttons feel nice. Feels like a very nice pad. The fact that you've also got the option of L and R here as well. One thing with me with Street Fighter is I always change the controls on it because I find doing a fireball or a dragon punch with R hard punch is an absolute nightmare. But to have it down here on one of the face buttons is a godsend. And you've got your turbo, etc. like in slow motion, which is useless in any game ever. I don't know anybody who ever used it. You got your turbos, etc. It's just like the original Hori pad, but obviously it's a little bit bigger at the back to accommodate the batteries here. But in general, it's very, very, very nice looking. So it is. I like it. What I'll do is that I will probably maybe if I remember, put some close-ups of it. But like say for me, put some batteries in this. Some rattles in it actually. This is maybe a little bit of loose plastic somewhere in there. I was going to say I might take it apart and have a look, but it's got stupid tri-wings. Who knows? It could be anything rattling about just from when it was made. Yes, I don't know how these fare. Like I said, I've heard some stories good, some stories bad, but I think it'll work well for me playing on my sofa. I like them. I think, I don't know, something about Super Nintendo stuff I just love. I think they're so classic. As well as the games, I should say, that I collect. I do want to collect a lot of different controller variants. I hate, is it Competition Pro? The Honeybee one or whatever it is. I hate that controller of the Super Nintendo, but never mind. It's always the controller you go to a friend's house when you're back in the day. It was like, oh, do you want to play 2 players? Like, yes. It was like, oh, you can have this rubbish controller. So, cheers mate, if I lose it's because you gave me the rubbish controller, but never mind. But yeah, it feels nice. Hopefully it plays nice as well. But I like how it feels. I really do. Wireless as well. It's ideal. It is ideal. So I got 2 of them. That and that. Mainly for the collector in me. To be honest with you, will I have a second person round here playing? Probably not, but I thought, look, I'll grab it and I'll grab 2 of these controllers, and the setup's complete, so to speak, minus an AC adapter, which I have got one kicking about on the floor over there. I can see it. But yeah, there's an argument I suppose in place. This and the 2 controllers is probably quite a lot of money for what it is, especially when you can take into consideration the cost of a Raspberry Pi, for example. I know they're dead expensive. They'll do the same thing and more, but for me, I lost my train of thought. I looked to see if the thing was still recording. For me, it's something's made by Nintendo. That's why everybody was going crazy for it. And there's talks of Game Boy 1, N64. They could just keep on going. I would love to see a PlayStation version of it with enough space to put maybe 50, 100 games on it, something like that. You need quite a bit of space in there. Again, you can do it with a Raspberry Pi, I know, but having a proper PlayStation thing like that would be amazing. But this is, I like it. A lot more nostalgic for me rather than the NES, although I do have the NES Mini as well. So, like I said, it comes with 21 games, or 20 plus 1 games. I think Japanese games are a little bit different, but the European and American ones, we all got the same games, I should say. Is this all the games that are on it? It is, sorry, I was just counting them. There's a lot of classic games that should be on here that aren't on here. I will modify it and put it on. There's videos that you can see to do that on the internet. But we've got Super Mario World, absolutely iconic classic game. Like, probably one of the best games ever. You have to say that, or I have to say that. Donkey Kong Country, absolute classic for me. I think people say maybe the second one's the best, but I only played the first one and I was blown away as a child playing the first one. Love that game, such classic iconic music, brilliant game. F-Zero, launch title, classic Mode 7 racer. Secret of Mana, I love that game. I don't know if I ever completed it, but I certainly remember playing a lot of it back in the day when I was a child. and the music for it as well, absolute classic. Super Castlevania 4, I have owned it, NTSC, American. I've never properly played it or given it a chance, to be honest with you. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. It's Zelda. It is one of the best games of all time as well. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, absolute classic. Contra 3, or Probotector I think it was called in Europe, good game. Super Punch-Out, I don't really like that game. I find it stupidly hard. Maybe I just do not know the ways of the game, or avoiding the crazy punches that the other guys does. Earthbound, classic, iconic, really expensive game, not released in Europe, North American game. I'm assuming in Japan as well. Never played it. I think I've maybe had a quick dabble of it years ago in emulation, but never ever properly had it, give it a proper go. So I will, having this set up in the living room, like I say, which is what my plan. Super Metroid, never played it apart from 5 minutes of it, to be honest with you. I've only played one Metroid game, and that was Metroid 2, is it Samus Returns, I think, on the Game Boy. I did like that, never given Super Metroid a proper chance. There's so many classic games on various systems that I haven't played for whatever reason. I've always thought of doing a series on the channel says games I've never played or something like that. I may do that. But Super Metroid, I do like the look of it. I will enjoy it if I get stuck into it. Star Fox, classic. Star Wing, as we know it over here. A little bit easy that game is, but absolute classic. Final Fantasy 3, I know that's supposed to be an absolute classic. Again, never properly played it, simply because it was North American or Japanese release only. It wasn't in the UK. We got bummed, or Europe I should say. We got bummed over here for certain games, but I know at the same time we got certain games that other countries didn't, or we got certain games in Europe. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, again, classic game for the Super Nintendo. Never properly played it simply because it wasn't released in this country. Have had a dabble with it on emulation years ago. Mario Kart, what can I say? Mario Kart, classic. This and 2 controllers, happy days, love Mario Kart. Mega Man X, never properly played it. Kirby Superstar, these are the games that are like, these 2 games should not have been on it unless you're an absolute Kirby freak. Kirby Superstar and Kirby's Dream Course. Never played any of them, to be honest with you. Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, absolute classic. Do love that game. I've always meant to do a playthrough for the channel, I should say. Mega memories playing that back in the day. And Street Fighter 2 Turbo, classic. Hopefully these pads work well with it. The fighting, ironic having controllers called Fighting Commander, but the pads are just rubbish with fighting games. But I thought Hori, it can't be bad. They're known for making good things, but the fact that that's got something rattling inside it, who knows, maybe that one's knackered. So Street Fighter 2 Turbo, yeah, absolute classic. And then Star Fox 2, which was previously officially unreleased until now. I know there's ROMs kicking about of it well prior to now, but it was officially unreleased. I do not know what I'm looking for. But I played that recently. I done a gameplay on my channel. I don't know if I just never gave the game a proper chance, but nah, I don't really like it. I think the first one is far superior. So for me, I'm happy to get this. I know a lot of scalpers out there, they're for sale for silly money on eBay. CEX, £140 I think they're trying to sell it for. It's silly money. For the people that bought 10 of them to try and sell them, you just knobs at the end of the day. Like, people wanted these, and well, Nintendo should have made enough, is probably the easiest way to say to satisfy the demand. But Nintendo being Nintendo, do they create artificial demand or artificial scarcity? Is that the right word? I don't know. I know what I meant in my brain. But yeah, I'm happy to have it. Let's say I'm going to modify it with a Hakchi, I think it's called a Hakchi 2, something like that, and put the games on it that I want. I know you can't fit the whole library on it, but it can certainly fit. You could easily fit the top 100 games easily. So, excuse me, windy pops. Super Nintendo Classic, 2 of these, very happy to pick it up. There's nothing better than being a bit late to the party and doing a video and something like this. Do you know what I mean? Maybe everybody was sick about it when they were first made, but then there's like, oh, there's another new one, let's just watch this. Who knows? It's all fun and games at the end of the day, but really glad to have it. Let me know, guys, did you manage to get one of these yourself, or is it a case of you're still trying to find them? I think in this country we were certainly able to pre-order them. I think I remember some other countries that weren't able to pre-order them. In America, I think they certainly weren't able to pre-order them for quite a while. But yeah, I love it. Let me know as well if you've got one. What games would you put on it other than the 21 games that are built in here? I'm certainly going to be looking through the library and picking out classics for myself to add to it. But yeah, happy to have it. I love Super Nintendo. The box fell. Love it, love it, love it. Even the controllers. It's like, look at the size of it. This is the controller. And this is the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. It's cool. They could just print money. They should just keep doing them. Game Boy next. N64. Yep, I know it's a lot of money, like I say, especially by adding the extra controllers. People go nuts for Nintendo stuff. You can do the same with Raspberry Pi, but it's just not the same at the end of the day, is it? But that's it for me, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Super Nintendo Classic Mini down below in the comments. Did you get one? Have you managed to get one? Do you see a lot of scalpers in your area selling them for silly money? If you've not managed to get them one, hopefully you still will be able to manage to get one. They are saying that they're going to release more or continue production of them. Nintendo being Nintendo, will they at the end of the day? I do not know. I wouldn't hold my breath out, but hopefully if you've not got one, you'll be able to pick up one from somewhere. But we'll leave it there, guys. As always from me, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.
Do you have a monkey in your pants?